Hello and welcome to Henry Ford Basketball. My name is Jeff Lowe along with Eric Pate, and it's Henry Ford and Jackson College. We're joining you a little late due to some technical difficulties. And Eric, how are you doing today? And tell us about these two teams.
Well, just doing well, Jeff. And of course, when these things happen, you just kind of go with the flow. So we're going to pick it up starting the second quarter, which is perfect timing. And Henry Ford, I mean, you look at their roster, and all of a sudden now we have 9 players there, which is good news, 9 players, and you know that's good. We've always talked about depth with this team, and they're hanging tough. Jackson is 20-2. They're coming off a loss, so you would think they're coming in a little angry and feeling like they want to get back on the winning track. Henry Ford has played well at home. Let's see if we can put everything together for the Hawks and get a victory.
Henry Ford is in the gray home uniforms and Jackson Community College in the maroon and white. And we're starting the second quarter, a score of 16-10 in favor of Jackson Community College. And we're going to go right through those starting lineups for you in just a second here. As that shot is made by Tammy French. And the starters, first for Jackson, you have Casey Shannon, Sigmund Morris, Patton, and Kubiak. And for Henry Ford, we have Wilson, Lewis, Satterford, French, and Plummer.
You saw Jada Patton hitting the elbow jump shot for Jackson. Let's see if Henry Ford can come back, and they've done a good job so far when we were off the air in the first quarter, penetrating, getting into the lane. Standing first, doing what she did early in the year, taking it to the basket.
We have seen the improvement in this Henry Ford Hawk team.
We know the record is not emblematic of marked improvement, but guess what? They have been. They've been down a little bit in this losing streak, but today they are battling, and that's all you want this late in the season, under the circumstances.
Kia Wilson outside, off the glass a little too hard. That shot was French. Going hard to the basket and drawing the foul. And that's Morgan Morris, and she'll go to the line shooting 2.
And Jeff, you mentioned some of the things about the Jets. They've got got a girl who's one of the all-time leading scorers in Indiana on the roster. I see some Detroit Cody. They get them from all over the Midwest: Michigan, Ohio, Indiana, Illinois. Good situation up at Jackson. They got dorms. They have a situation where you can leave home and actually stay on campus like it's a Division I or Division II program.
Mm-hmm.
And meanwhile, Henry Ford has just been kind of patchwork. Girl here, girl there. They must find out who's enrolled and see if you can hoop, we'll travel.
That shot was tipped, and it will be out of bounds. Actually, it was a foul, but it will go over to Jackson Community College.
Is it Elijah Lewis got called for the foul? That's her first, and they're going to Tally and Faith Plummer off the bench. Zayana Tally and Faith Plummer. It's good to see 9 players on the Hawks roster today, Jeff. I told Coach on the way in, doing a good job at keeping it together. They might be 3-20, but they haven't forfeited the game for lack of numbers. And that's a testament to the program.
Yes, it is. For the entire athletic program. 7:53 remaining here in the second quarter. And Henry Ford finding themselves down by a score of 19-14 to hit Jackson College.
Henry Ford, kind of a matchup zone.
Nice drive that time, number 22. That's Alyssa Porritt.
Nice recipe for a bucket. Stanifer, dribble drive, kicks out to the wing to Ziana Talley, and she nails it.
Elbow extension jumper, no good. Rebound by Jackson. Two defenders from Henry Ford hustling to the ball and knocks it out of bounds.
Well, thank goodness it wasn't a foul.
Yes.
Henry Ford's got to watch that no matter what the circumstance. 9 players, 8 players, 6 players. Foul trouble can't be a problem for them in any game. They don't have enough talent to withstand that.
Long shot, no good. And the rebound. And the foul is going to be on number 22, French. She picks up her first foul as Patton will step to the line and shoot 2.
Jada Patton is a Jackson product. Went on to the college, and it's a cross section of players. Good basketball team. They're looking toward the conference tournament and also the national championship tournament in NJCAA Division II. Jackson is so the tale of 2 different programs right now.
And as you said, this is an important game for Jackson because they could clinch the Eastern Division. Nice shot that time by Stadiford. Short jumper is good.
She's balling, man. I mean, this is what you want to see. The zone is an adjustment. They get a couple stops, you never know. I like the way the referees are allowing them to play. Incidental contact, they're not calling it with a quick whistle.
Patton with the turnaround, make it count. 24-18 in favor of Jackson. Jets feeling good right now. Sadaford to the basket. Off the glass a little hard. May have been tipped.
I think she felt like she got hit, and I agree with her. Her facial expression was not one of pleasure, but that was a bad pass by Wilson.
Wilson to the basket strong, and that one's blown, and that will be a foul.
Yeah, and good to see Wilson take it to the basket. She's been kind of okay this game so far. I know you all weren't here with us for the first quarter, but want to see her not be so erratic and
play a little bit more under control.
Oh man, yeah. and make better passes. Mm-hmm. You know, in a game like this, you're down 6, you're undermanned, one of the better teams in the conference. Take care of the basketball, treat it like a precious jewel that you cannot just hand away. It's precious.
She steps to the line and makes both free throws. And brings the Hawks within 4 points. 24-20 your score. 5:29 remaining here in the second quarter.
Now, Lewis was with the program early in the year, and now she's back.
Patton, count the bucket.
She's going to be a problem. That's all to it. I mean, Patton is Jada Patton, listed at 5'10". She's just strong. Look at her upper body.
Yes.
Nice moves around the basket. When she gets it low, you know exactly where she's going.
Makes the three-point play the old-fashioned way.
She has a bounce in her step. She's got a lot of strength. She's exactly what you want on a basketball team. She talks. She's very active.
Wilson looking for some room, loses the ball, and Patton comes away with it. Wilson with the speed, no look pass. And Henry Ford I thought Henry Ford was going to reset it.
But I like that because Ziona Talley was calling for the ball.
Yeah.
She wanted it back. Her feet were set. I don't know what's going on with Wilson today, but others have played well, keeping them in the game.
I thought they were going to reset on that last possession, but Talley had other thoughts and made it count. Henry Ford will set it up. Oh, that was close to being saved by Satterford, but it's out of bounds and over to the Jets. 27-23. Long three, no good. Battle for the rebound, and Talley is being very active on both ends.
You just never can't tell what you're going to get with this bunch. You know, they play in spurts. Sometimes they take some time off. But they've got pieces at Henry Ford College, which is pretty promising. Put them all together and good things happen. The problem is getting them to play together, but this zone is looking good early on.
And that zone forces a turnover. And Satterford at the top with the ball. Satterford short jumper, a little short that time. No look pass to Patton. Patton tried to reverse it. Patton with another rebound. As you said, she's a strong rebounder. 3 rebounds, a kick out, and count the bucket.
You can tell she's been in the weight room. I mean,
yeah.
She might be a little undersized to play in the post at the next level. But boy, oh boy, would she be a strong guard candidate.
Good pass by Talley up to Wilson. Wilson.
Don't quite know where she was headed with that one.
Now checking in for the Jets, number 23. I'm sorry, check that, number 32, and that's Tyra Ford. Transfer from IUPUI from a Division I school. And Coach Heather Brown is very high on Ford.
Henry Ford is hanging around, and it's one of those things, if you can find a stop somewhere, you know, to be down 6, it's one of the top teams in the conference. The girl with the basketball is key for Henry Ford. That's Wilson. She decides to play. And the girl with the basketball right there, Faith Plummer. I mean, she's been pretty quiet in the first half.
That's going to be a travel.
Our girl Sydney Murray, volleyball player, has played basketball, was on and off. I don't quite know what some of these young ladies are doing. I can imagine how Coach Brianna Johnson and her staff are trying to keep up with these young ladies.
That's Ford, Tyra Ford, getting on the board. 31-23 in favor of the Jets from Jackson Community College. Wilson looking to drive, loses handle, and the Jets turning over on the transition. Looking for Wilson, counter bucket.
Stanifer helped Wilson make up for that turnover she had. And sharing the basketball, you want those two playing at a high level. And nice play.
Jayla Edwards now checking into the game for the Jets as Wilson goes to the line and knocks down the free throw. 26-31 your score. Stanford with some good defense. Ford from outside, shot no good. And Talley with the rebound for the Hawks. And Wilson in the open floor. Wilson jump stop. Run. She did it all in that one play. And it results a travel. Turnover. Wow. Ford with the shot. It's good. We need to see more of that. Yes.
Well, we like to see it on this end with the young lady with the rock.
Wilson with a nice drive, but couldn't finish.
I can't wait to see the halftime stats with what Wilson has done.
Count the bucket. Stanford can't believe the foul.
At the end of the half, Henry Ford's not playing smart. And with this free throw, it could be a double-digit deficit after they played hard all half. You don't want to see that.
Now French comes back in the game with only 28 seconds. Sydney Murray checks out. The defense by Shannon, forcing the turnover. Back the other way, and Shannon, she's looking for the foul. As you said earlier, the officials have no problem letting them play a little bit in this contest. 10 seconds on the clock. Thought Shannon was going to pull on that one. Changes her mind, puts it on the floor, kicks it back out, and no good. And that's going to do it for the first half of play. 26-35 is your halftime score. You're watching Henry Ford basketball on the Henry Ford streaming network. It's Henry Ford and Jackson Community College. We'll be right back with more basketball after this.
College. What is it? Memorial Gym? Memorial Gymnasium. I always forget. And we're happy to be joined by the Henry Ford head coach, Coach Shepard. And Coach, first of all, congratulations on another win. I mean, what is it now? 15 in a row?
I think so. Yeah, I'm not sure. I think it's 15.
It's hard to keep track, but I'll wrap it up like this. I'll surmise it as like this. I run into the coach at Oakland Community College, Antoine the Judge Jobert, up at Oakland University last night. Of course, they played UD, University of Detroit Mercy last night. And I'm sitting there with the judge, and I said, what do you think of Henry Ford? And the judge says, they got 10 to 12 players, man. They got 12 players. They should be good. And he meant the tournament. And it's rare that you have a coach in your conference give you that kind of compliment. And coming from the judge, I think he loves basketball. He's going to be objective. How does that make you feel?
I appreciate it. When I first got in the league, Antoine had some great teams. They went out to the national tournament, and we're blessed to have a group. This group is special. It's not about us being overconfident or, we're proud of our group that we have. We've won, I don't know, is it 15? I don't know how many games in a row, whatever it is. But this group plays the right way. They have each other's back. They play hard. They play together, and they've done it against the best schedule in the country, so we're proud of them.
And that's the beauty of it. Once upon a time, you were 4-4. Now you're over 20 wins. And last Saturday was emblematic of how do you stop Henry Ford. Macomb thinks they have the game won. They commit a turnover here with 5 seconds left with the ball, call a timeout. They had a foul to give. All those scenarios, and then Curtis Jackson, unheralded Curtis Jackson, kills them with a three.
Yeah, it was. They had the ball with. They actually had it with like 30 seconds left. They dribbled it to 15 for a timeout. We trapped them off the sideline to have them use their last timeout to get it down to about 6 seconds, like you said, and they ran a play to try to get one of their players isolated in the corner. We had Mike Robinson, who's a really good defender there, so we actually like that matchup, even if he doesn't. But he stepped out of bounds, and we knew they'd be occupied on D. Cole, so we sent him away from the ball. He drew a double, and we thought they were going to have a guy in the inbounder. They didn't, and we thought Marcus Gibbs, really the play was for Marcus Gibbs to go up the sideline, Curtis to throw it to him. We were going to live with a shot with Marcus Gibbs there, but Curtis is, he's our MVP in a lot of ways. I'm not so sure he's not our team MVP. I know DQ and Toodles are the two best players in the conference, but Curtis makes us go, and that was a big-time shot. And we shot 6 for 34 for 3 in that game, but we had 20 offensive rebounds, and the reason why we played, why we were 4-4 at one point, is we've been in those games. Our kids don't flinch. There was never any panic throughout the whole game. We weren't playing well. We knew we weren't playing well. We just wanted to find a way.
And Coach, you're 19-4. That's 15 in a row. Curtis Jackson hits that shot. Then on Wednesday, you beat OCC, which is, Judge was very clear, man, in this communication. 105-73, you beat them on Wednesday night. Talk about that win.
We shot it, as we could. We were 6 for 34 on Saturday. I don't know what we know we made 21 threes on Wednesday. 21's the most we've had in a game since I've been here. We've had multiple games of 19. I think 21 is by far the 2 more than that. We shot it really well. We got that man back on Wednesday, DeJuan Seal. He makes us go from a lot of standpoints. Really, where he makes it really well for us is he rebounds. And when we rebound, we can get out and run. And if we can get out and run, we're a problem. If you're going to go up and play up and down with us in the track meet, you're going to have a real big problem if we can rebound the basketball. And we did that with him on Wednesday.
Well, Coach, let's today, of course, you're playing Jackson. What do you think of Jackson? You beat them back on January 26th, 97-75 at their place. Yep. What do you think of them? What problems they cause, and what can you do against them?
Yeah, organizationally, they run a lot of sets. They run, they're organized. They can get you in the half court if you aren't playing hard. They run good stuff. We played well up there. They're not bad. I think that was the biggest win, biggest defeat they had suffered this year. They've been a lot of close losses. They have a couple pieces to go with them. We're playing to win the league today. If we win, we're the league champs solo. That's not one of our goals, but it's something for our kids to be motivated to play for. Really, at this point, we're trying to position ourselves for conference tournament so we can win that, and if we win that, have a good seat at the national.
And if in fact you do win the conference, Does that mean you're playing here in another game?
So yeah, if we win one more game out of our next 4, we'll host a state championship game here on, I think it's March 4th, which is a Saturday. Which that game, all that is a state championship, like east, west, north thing. It really doesn't mean anything. It's a banner, but I could care less about it. We're trying to win the conference tournament, so we get to the national tournament, so we get done.
If you play another home game, that means we get paid another game.
Oh, EP, then I'm happy for it. And look, we got you. We got you. We got another game coming in your pocket.
Well, we appreciate it. On behalf of me and my broadcast partner, Jeff Lowe, we want as many home games as possible.
Yes,
and
sir.
Who knows what will happen if you guys get into the tournament. But I'm sure the athletic director, Rochelle Taylor, will take care of that. Coach Chris Shepard, Henry Ford College men's basketball, good luck today. 15 in a row. And looking for 16.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you. Thank you for having me.
All right. More after this. You're listening to Henry Ford College Athletics, live streaming on YouTube. Yep.
Welcome back. And the halftime score was 26-35, and a bucket scored by Stafford. In your first half scores, leading scores was Patton with 10 for Jackson College, and for Henry Ford College, it was Stafford with 9. Low scoring contest this afternoon.
Well, I mean, actually, I kind of disagree because 35 for Jackson could turn into 70. Mm-hmm. And if you're Henry Ford, 26 they could easily get to 50, mid-50s and into the 60s. But if Henry Ford's going to win again, they got to get some stops. Mm-hmm. Period. They were some of their big stars aren't playing up to par. I mean, Wilson had a quiet pedestrian 6. Faith Plummer went scoreless. I mean, you got to have more. Although Kia Wilson had 6, you wanted to have double figures at halftime. She's got to be a 20-point scorer if Henry Ford is going to have a chance. And then Tamia French had 4. Stanford had 9. She took 10 of their 26 shots. You got to have more. Wilson was 1 of 6. Got to have more out of her. Mm-hmm. More has got to be the word for the second half.
more.
Give me more.
More production.
Yes. And Faith Plummer doesn't touch the ball. I mean, she shoots it twice, Jeff.
Yeah.
She's got to touch it at least 7-8 times a half.
And it has to be in the low box area, close to the basket.
Without you telling me. It's inside out. That's a success story for Henry Ford. It is good that they have depth today. That's the good news. The bad news is they're not really using it. Look at the bench.
11-point lead for Jackson. And the Jets with a 39-28 lead over the Hawks.
Tally was a good player off the bench. She had 5. If you're going to do that, just go small. If you're not going to get anything or you're not going to give it to Faith Plummer, go small and get 5 folks that are going to run up and down and get some baskets.
Satterford got her own rebound, and she put it back up and count the bucket. I totally agree with you there also, because, that kind of production was so good for Tally and the team. A little step through by Patton, and she loses it out of bounds.
And she led all scorers with 10. Right? Mm-hmm. In the first half. I'm talking about Jada Patton. Well, one way to stop her is to make sure that you have Plummer near the basket, guarding her, preventing her to get easy trips to the basket. Because if you look at the young girl Patton, she was 4 of 11. She shot it 11 times. She shot it more than anyone on her team. She's going to make it go. If you allow her to run rough shot, 10 and 8 in the first half. 10 points, 8 rebounds. Keep her off the glass. Don't allow her to get easy shots, mm-hmm. and you'll be good to go.
And Jackson's top player, Tyra Ford, who was a transfer from IUPUI, a D1 school, not a whole lot of production in that first half for her. She's hobbled with a sore ankle, but still not a whole lot of production from her. And it's so important, you're right, as far as having the bodies that Henry Ford needs, the added rest that the starters can get for Henry Ford. And it's beneficial to have that. And that's one thing that Henry Ford hasn't had the entire season. And they're picking up players as they go at this point. But as you said earlier in the game, hats off to this coaching staff for doing a fine job with just keeping everybody together.
And that's what I said to the coach, Coach Johnson. I said, way to keep it together. I think with this situation, if you make it through the year, it's a victory.
Oh, yeah, that was Wilson. Ford kicks it back out. Outside three is good.
All that work to get it to 7. Now 3 takes it back to a double-digit deficit. Say that 10 times.
That was Sigmund with that last three-point shot for the Jets. Wilson, patient on the offensive end, looking inside. Ball goes back outside, and the Jets come away with it and gets the bounce and the bucket.
Now you're reaching a danger zone. You don't want to get down double digits. You're at home. I see people kind of walking down the floor and no pep in their step. You got to stay in it. You can't let the visitors from Jackson take your will. And I don't want Wilson to get too over anxious. Make sure she's running the floor, giving the ball up, sharing it. I like the 5 that's on the floor for Henry Ford right now. They got scoring in all 5 positions.
Mm-hmm. Satterford coming up empty after a nice drive to the bucket. Patton comes away with it. And the Jets get an easy layup on the other end. And that was Casey Shannon with the, number 15. That was Morgan Morse with the bucket.
Well, they've gone scoreless here for quite a minute here. 9-0 run for Jackson.
French with a outside shot, not a good shot selection. Quickly back the other way. Jackson gets control of it and sets their offense. Looking inside, that's going to go off the hands of Patton. And here comes Talley for Henry Ford, who gave the Hawks a little spark in the first half.
Well, Faith Plummer is laboring up and down the floor, and I just think that conditioning at this stage of the game, her shin splints problem may be wearing on her and just doesn't have it. So at least they have someone to go to off the bench. And Talley gave Henry Ford a spark in the first half. Let's see if she can do it again in the second.
Nice turnaround jumper by French. Need more of that.
Yeah, French has a nice turnaround game. Watched it all year. Get it to her in the right spot. She can score.
Jackson College content with just taking a shot late in the shot clock, which is a good strategy with the lead right now. Wilson in the open floor. Wilson. No foul, no whistles, no harm, and the bucket by Henry Ford.
Last 2 possessions for Henry Ford look good.
Henry Ford with the press. Inside to Patton. Got away with maybe a hook that last time. Sigmund.
Yeah, Patton's a little wild. I mean, she's just, you love the energy, but it's got to be controlled. It just can't be up and down and wild and Dennis Rodman type, you know. I'm sorry. I don't want to insult one of the best defenders in the NBA's history, in Dennis Rodman.
Hall of Famer.
I think, I think what she's doing is she's playing with energy, but she's reckless. How's that? I mean, she's trying to score, and I mean, you know, hey, play within the flow. We love your energy.
6 seconds on the shot clock. French with the turnaround and also the turnover.
And now they're all trying to release on rebounds, and it's good substitution to Patton out of the game, let her sit down, let a few others sit down. Fresh five.
Yep.
It's a fresh five.
Yes.
So you have that luxury to get 5 out and 5 in. Let's see what this second unit can do for Jackson. But Henry Ford, they've got 5. They've got the 5 that are going to probably carry them.
Satterford from way outside. Didn't have much on the shot clock. She had to launch it. Now Satterford gets that rebound up the floor quickly and was looking for Wilson clear across on the other side of the court. And that one's tipped out of bounds by Jackson College, and Henry Ford will take it out. French exercises some patience, but now lets one go. No rebounding, no offensive rebounding for Henry Ford right now.
Looking forward to the men's contest against Jackson. DeQuarian Cole was offered last night by Oakland University, so the judge, Antoine Joubert, also gave him a nice compliment. That was a three-point basket by Tyra Ford for Jackson, but said that DeQuarian Cole knows how to play. And here's an example. He had 16 rebounds back on January 26th against Jackson.
Oh, okay.
16 rebounds, 14 defensive rebounds.
Nice layup right there.
Back-to-back baskets by Ford.
Yes. (53-36). Wilson with the ball over to Stafford.
Biggest lead of the game for Jackson. Thought it was a travel, but I guess someone from Jackson touched it. Standiford has not been able to get to the basket driving like she was in the first half.
It's not a good flow for Henry Ford right now offensively. And that was a travel against Jackson College.
That's a good word, flow. They just don't have it right now. And you want them to. You want them to play with a nice tempo. But sometimes it just doesn't work that easy. It would be nice to have this group finish the season. This group of, I see 9 players. Would be nice.
Satterford is called for the offensive foul.
4 points, wait a minute, 4 points, and it's a long period of time. And 8 for the quarter.
They hit a drought.
Man, it's a drought, all right. They just aren't executing. Good pass.
Nice find underneath the basket, but Jackson can't close the deal on that one. Wilson with an open jumper. It's good. That looked good by Wilson, pardon me.
She makes it look easy.
Yes.
When, in situations like that. I mean, she drove down, found her spot.
Jackson got the last shot of the quarter. 53-38 is your third quarter score in favor of the Jackson College Jets. With this break, we're going to take a break in action. We'll be right back with more Henry Ford basketball. Not a good third quarter for the Hawks as they start this fourth quarter. And the Jets get on the board first here in this fourth quarter. 55-38.
They scored 12 points in the third quarter, and they did not play well, particularly in the second half of that quarter. The last 5 minutes of it, because that was missing. Standifer with the nice jump shot.
Euro step. Nice move that time by Morgan Morse.
17-point bulge is the biggest that Jackson has had all game. Henry Ford's been pretty pedestrian. First basket by Plummer all game.
Three-point attempt, no good.
Plummer's having a heck of a time. She's laboring.
She is.
To turn around. And I can't even, I mean, I've had shin splints, but never to this extent where it had to be taped like hers are. And wow, must be painful. Can't imagine what she's going through. But, you know, the other team's not going to take that into account.
Stolen away by Jackson, but couldn't finish the layup. Wilson to the basket. Standifer gathering the loose ball and putting it back up for an easy two. Not an easy two, but two. 57-44 your score. And the Jets just take their time coming up the floor. And that looked like a travel, and it was. Satterford. Nice cut by Satterford. And she draws the foul and will go to the line and shoot two. And the foul is going to be on Ford. That's going to be her first foul of the contest. Satterford calmly going to the line and misses the second one, but makes the first and makes it a 57-45. Step back, Sigmund, no good. Wilson in the open floor. Free throw extension by Wilson, no good. Jumper. Wilson tried to get her own rebound right there. Two players back by themselves for the Jets, and an easy layup for Ford.
It just seems like they're, a little tired today. If I had to put my finger on it, it's got to be the mileage that they put on their tires. They played a lot of minutes, and you're going to have days like this where your legs just aren't there, and that seems like that's a prime example. Standifer couldn't even get to the basketball. That was a lazy pass, but you don't see that extra oomph from these young ladies today.
And that was a great way to put it. The mileage that's on those tires. These young ladies are fatigued. They play like they're fatigued. One inside, turnaround jumper. That looked like a good block. And wow. Faith Plummer can't believe it. It's like, man, She got her hands up and was in good position defensively, but it's called for the foul.
Well, they got that girl on the line there.
Patton.
Patton is back in the lineup. One thing about her, I mean, she's played all day with a smile, and seems to have a lot of energy. As I've said repeatedly, you need that. And this team comes in a pretty good standing. They had a loss on Wednesday night, and Henry Ford lost by 3 to Oakland. So you're thinking maybe they've got a little momentum, but the losing streak will continue. And sometimes you look at this thing and say it could be better. The clock just did not move. So now they got to figure this thing out here.
Issue with the clock, that's right.
See if they can sort this out, but talking about the shot clock and the game clock, of course, our officials, Julian Van Dyke, a UDM Titan, Chris Jones, and Kristen Morris, who was a LSU Tiger, a Country Day girl. Dad is I consider him a friend, works in the TV production industry as well, and watched her career at Country Day. She was a solid performer. It's good to see people who played this game officiating. I mean, you feel a lot more comfortable with people that are very competent, played this game, so on and so forth. Not to say someone who has not played the game cannot be competent. They just have, I think people who played this game officiating have an advantage.
Satterford went to the basket hard, but couldn't finish for the layup.
And Faith Plummer put her hands on it, but just couldn't finish as well.
Drive to the basket, and
wow.
Looks like Plummer's called for the foul, and she is. It's going to be Plummer's third foul. Going to the line is Casey Shannon, and she'll shoot 2. 6:01 remaining here in the fourth quarter.
The Jets, interesting nickname, the Jackson Jets. And they, like I said, they got a pretty good situation with you can live on campus. Nice arrangement there. They've got a good shot of getting things done and getting into the national tournament.
It's going to be a full timeout here by the Hawks. Now, it's interesting, and you said it, we both talked about it. At this point in the season, the fatigue is settling in, and especially on a Hawk team that's, that didn't start the season with great expectations. Everything from this point on has to be, I would say, applauded. And you said it earlier about the coaches keeping everything together. Everything has to be positive. It's going to get better for this Henry Ford team, obviously. In a few more pieces, get in better shape, and they'll be all right. It's going to turn around. It's going to take some time, but I believe they're going to turn it around.
A good sign is I saw one of the assistants from Henry Ford at a game recently over at Mumford High School. It's always good to see folks in the community out, checking out the talent, the local talent. That's always a good sign. Now, we also had those folks that were here for one of the games.
Yes.
I want to see more of that. I want to see them here, checking it out, on a rotation of young ladies coming in here, because it's a great opportunity. If you can get to Henry Ford College, it means you're serious about playing some college basketball, and if the coaches can get you in here, that means something to them.
Oh yeah.
So I love to see more of it.
Patton with the short shot, no good. French all the way to the bucket, and it's going to be a foul on number 1. That's going to be Brown, Trinity Brown, picking up the foul. It's going to be Trinity's first foul. Taja Lewis has checked into the game for Henry Ford. Big cheer from the crowd over there.
Mock cheer from the family, I'm sure.
Yes.
You want this young lady. I like her game. If I was a point guard, Tamia French would have 20 a game because I know where her spots are, and I make sure I get it to her where she wants it and encourage her to shoot the ball. I never forget, early in the year, I had a chance to talk to her. She's a, congenial, nice young lady. She wants to touch that basketball, man. I think too many times in these games, she's become the fourth option. She's a solid second or third option. I'm trying to tell you this. The young lady with the basketball is got to be number 1. Stanford's going to have the ball, so she's got to be controlling this thing. And the third girl has got to be Tamia French, period.
Oh, yeah.
And Faith Plummer, hey, get it off the rim, play in the post, play big, and then we can mix it all into a pot, and we'll be fine.
62-48. Nice cut, but not a finish.
Hey, look, 4 minutes left. It's not over, but you got to make something happen quick.
No way, so not over. But you
no
gotta,
lift on that
you
jump
gotta knock
shot.
down the bucket, so.
There was no lift on the jump shot for Wilson. I'm telling you, these girls are exhausted. They're playing like it today.
Long three-pointer, no good. Faith Plummer with the rebound.
And I like this young lady's game. I love Ziona Talley's game because she's aggressive. Everybody just has to know what their role is on the team and execute it to its best ability.
Trinity Brown for the Jets. 64-48 your score. 3:04 remaining in the contest. Wilson with a turnaround. Jumper, and it's no good. Plummer had her hands on it shortly, but loses it over to the Jets. Nice reverse layup by Shannon.
Biggest lead of the game is 18, and looks like Henry Ford's fading fast, Jeff. Good timeout.
30-second timeout called by Henry Ford. 2:33 on the clock, and it's like coaches preaching the same thing.
I think at this point I'm telling the girls, hey, hang in, don't give up, let's finish the season. I mean, let's make sure that we're going to come, we're going to commit, we're going to play, we're going to practice, we're going to get out here on game days and do what we need to do. And then I look at everything at the end of the season, try to get 5 or 6 freshman girls, incoming freshmen, that are committed to the same thing, and put another brick in place. make sure that that our young lady off the bench, Al Shamari, she's got some speed. Teach her the game. Teach her the game of basketball. That's a weird thing to say when you're on this level.
Yeah, but it's a continuously teaching
well,
process.
No, she's
at some level.
Let's go back, Jeff. Let's be real. Everyone can see the YouTube channel and see when she gets in the game that she's really at a high school level, if that.
Maybe.
And you have to teach her how to dribble, teach her how to shuffle her feet, teach her how to switch on offense and from offense to defense.
Yeah,
before you can even get to some,
I understand what you mean.
Before you can get to some of the intricacies of basketball.
She's been thrown into the fire.
Oh,
right?
She's thrown into the fire. I mean, hey, but she's sacrificed, and one thing's for sure, she's shown up for these games.
Yeah.
She's been here. So, with that said, you got to work with her.
That was Ford on the pass, and on the layup was Jayla Edwards for the Jets. Minute 37 remaining. 70-49 your score.
See, look at her. She gets in there and tries for a hustle play. I love it. I mean, you can work with that. She's got energy and effort. Two of the E's.
Yeah, the effort is definitely there.
The third E is execution. Energy, effort, and execution.
And I could credit her with that last rebound. She got her hand on it, tipped it away, and tipped it in the hand of one of her teammates. And Edwards again. 72-51. Wilson with the ball.
Wants so bad to go one-on-one. I mean, she wants to go one-on-5. And you got to like that, too. I mean, she's a natural scorer. She could be the best player in this conference.
Oh, she's definitely the definition of an ISO player.
Yeah. And so this is the time of the year as we get down to the last two home games. You look at what Henry Ford has got. You look at what the future holds, and you got to get some players in here. That's just, it is what it is.
$14 seconds on the shot clock. Wilson with the ball and the countdown. Wilson to the basket. Final score 72-53. Your final thoughts on this one?
Well, I mean, just another brick that Henry Ford puts in it, bad or good. They finished it. Let's keep these. See, 9 girls. I mean, now it's all about numbers for me. And, hopefully Henry Ford can keep these girls together, and they'll play next week, the 2 games that we have scheduled, and finish this season.
Totally agree with you. And thank you for joining us. Game 2 is coming up. The men of Henry Ford can clinch the Eastern Division with a victory this afternoon. I want you to stay tuned. More basketball coming your way. The Hawks and Jackson College. We'll be right back. after the starting lineup. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Memorial Gymnasium on the campus of Henry Ford College. It's time for game number 2. It's the men of Henry Ford and the men of Jackson College. And Eric Pate, tell us about these two squads.
Well, one day I'm going to sing this fight song. I love how they bring it in after the anthem and after the starting lineups, man. But, you know, Jackson's going to be competitive. They're structured, according to Coach Chris Shepard for the Hawks. But all that stuff sounds good, everything, until you tip it off against Henry Ford. Had a big 32-point win, 105-73 against OCC on Wednesday night, where they hit 21 threes. And then we don't have to go back to last Saturday, do we, where Curtis Jackson hit the 3 to beat Macomb 71-68 and avoid overtime and everything else. Hey, Jeff, 15 straight wins, 19-4. What more could you ask for? They're streaking, they're hot, and they're getting ready for these playoffs.
And they're ranked number 3 in the country, and that's a great thing. Hawks of Henry Ford in the white, and Jackson College in the dark uniforms. Whistles blow.
You got to reset that shot clock, but, you know, listen, ranked 3rd in the country, all that stuff. They've been ranked at the top 5 for over 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
And so now it's about fine-tuning, getting ready for the state tournament. They win one of the last 3, including tonight. They're going to host on March the 4th. And, you know, Coach said he didn't care about the whole conference tournament thing. They are strictly pointed. All arrows point toward the state tournament. I mean the national tournament. The NJCC Division II Championship.
Wearing Cole with an alley-oop and the tip in by Tyler Mack.
And it just doesn't matter who they have on the floor. The judge, our good friend Antoine Jobert, your family member, said it best yesterday. They have got 10 to 12 players. And that's a luxury in all seriousness.
Jackson with the loose ball and up quickly to Quarian Cole. And they will reset the offense. Jackson at the top with the ball. Let me get to those starting lineups. It's Bate, Jackson, Mack, Cole, and Seal. And that was Seal with the alley-oop attempt that came up a little short.
Yeah, they're playing around right now, missing shots.
Jackson with the rebound. Bates with the dunk.
Every possession so far, they've had 3 offensive possessions. They missed the dunk, like missed the easy layup. They get a dunk. I mean, it's always easy. It's always around the rim, it seems. Just what you want. I just hope that this team does not peak too soon, if there's such a thing.
Quick timeout called by head coach Chris Johnston in his second year at the helm for Jackson College. Assistant coaches Ryan Munez, Mark Wiles, athletic director Courtney Ivan, and head athletic trainer is Caitlin Tuck, and the manager is Preston McKenzie.
Well, last week Macomb did this exclusively. Everybody get back. Miss shot, make, out the rim, out the net, get back, just get back, just get back. And it worked. They held Henry Ford under its average, stayed close. But in the end, they had a nice little run to tie the game at 68, but they forgot one small thing. Don't turn the ball over at the end and guard the guy that has the ball. Curtis Jackson hit that long 3. So
there's your turnover as Tyler Mack.
Yeah, I just, it's looking good for Henry Ford. You don't want to jinx it, but they have played well in this conference. These victories are adding up, and everything is looking up for the Hawks.
That one bounces over the backboard and out of bounds. Jackson College starters is Damney, Pearson, Belton, Ford Belton, Smith, and Wiles.
And the man with the basketball, Curtis Jackson. According to Coach Shepard, he's getting some looks from some folks. I remember when he was a sophomore at Harper Woods High School playing for Arvis Young. And a steady performer. It's a steady player.
That was Aquari Smith with the hard drive to the basket for Jackson College. Outside shot, no good. Nice move. And Tyler Mack has 4 points in the contest. Seals with the one-handed rebound. Quickly down the floor.
He's missed 2 layups.
Yeah. Belton. Nice mid-range jump shot by Khalid Bates.
Here comes Jackson right back at him. I'm thinking your best bet is to get back against them, make sure they force Henry Ford into a half-court game. You cannot win going head up and down the floor.
Bates again going strong to the basket. 6 points for Bates early in this contest. Pearson with an easy 2 in the paint for Jackson College. 8-10 your score early in this first half. Seals from outside, no good. Rebound, Jackson College. The Jets and the Hawks going at it.
DeQuarian Cole, I saw him last night up at Oakland. Didn't get a chance to talk to him, but according to Coach Shepard, Oakland offered him. There's the assist to Dewan Seal, who's going to get some offers as well. Saginaw Valley offered him. So this is that time of year where guys are getting offers. Let's just hope that folks don't forget the job they have left here at Henry Ford. As they say, everybody eats. Everybody get a chance to eat if they win the national championship.
Jackson going inside to Bates. Bates, a big man making some room, and that's going to be called a jump ball. And Henry Ford will retain possession. Jackson kick back out to Bates. Bates has been doing most of his damage in the inside, and he stepped out beyond the three-point line and let that one go. Nice three-pointer. That's Dabney. Seal with a nice strong move inside. Seals
did a little flex there.
Yeah.
I just think that it's hard to keep this pace up if you're playing against Henry Ford. They go up and down the floor. They scored over 100 points again. And I'm going to count up how many times they've done that this year in a moment. But so far, Jackson is keeping up the pace. It seems as though Henry Ford can play at this pace all game long.
There's another shot attempt by Bates from beyond the three-point line.
It seems like you can never get the lead against it, you know?
Yeah.
You play hard, you play tough. And it seems at the final analysis, it's like a nice moral victory. We held them under 100, or a nice moral victory. We stayed close for three-quarters of the game.
Henry Ford with a 1-point lead. Some substitutions into the game. Marcus Gibbs checks in. Three-point shot off the mark right there.
Had 2 possessions to take the lead and couldn't get it done.
Robinson with the finish.
Another name that's come up big lately.
It's a nice move by Wiles, Brent Wiles. 30-second timeout. Henry Ford. Coach Shepard wants to talk it over with his squad. Have a 1-point lead with 12:29 here in the first half.
16-15. If you're Jackson, you got to feel good. If you're Henry Ford, you get everyone's best punch. And 21 made three-pointers against OCC on Wednesday. Today, they're attacking the basket. So the three-point shots have not even been attempted for Henry Ford.
Well, a couple have.
Well,
Bates.
but it's not that natural diet that we're
okay.
used to seeing. They're getting to the basket. That's the first option. They're making the first option. They can do this all game, and dribble drive is what they like to do. Let's see if they see if Henry Ford is forced to shoot those threes as Jackson adjusts defensively.
Cole with the ball on the outside. Good look inside to Robinson once again.
That was not a three. That was an inside layup, and that's what they like to do early on. They'll take what you give them.
Nowhere gatherings. All tied up at 18.
Coach Shepard said last week's game-winning three by Jackson was supposed to go to Gibbs.
Gibbs from outside.
Because if his feet get set, this is what he does. McComb, I hate to keep going back to last week, but McComb had a foul to give and didn't use it. You cannot have a mental error against Henry Ford.
Belton has 8 points for Jackson College. Mack checks back into the contest. Cole will take a seat. Also, Ron Hill has checked in to the game for forward.
They lose absolutely nothing going to the bench and sitting down Jackson and bringing in Hill. Let's see if Jackson can take the lead on this possession.
Nice bounce pass inside. And Seal.
The answer is a resounding no on that previous question.
Mack from outside. That one goes in and out.
Little off from 3 today so far for Henry Ford.
Corner 3, no good. Jackson gets the rebound, kicks it back out.
They've
hard foul.
They've had 3 previous chances to take the lead. I'm talking about Jackson, the Jets. They've had 3 previous chances to take the lead. This is chance number 4. 10:08 left, 21-20, Henry Ford. Let's see if number 20, Colby Cathy, kid out of Detroit Edison, can hit some free throws and give the Jets its first lead of the day. I mean, it's something about getting the lead, getting some confidence. And teams just can't do it.
This one's for the tie. Cathy set to shoot and ties it up.
And it's early. I mean, it's early, but it's a mind thing. It's a mind game. It's mental.
Skip pass. Mack from outside.
Now, you don't want the barrage. You got to answer it. You got to answer it. We do these broadcasts, and we spend a lot of time talking about the opposition. And you got to answer it.
There's the answer for you. Tied up again at 24. Cole losing the handle of the ball there. Bounce pass. And that's going to be an offensive foul. That's Wilds. And lowered to Boone and his shoulder.
Yeah, Brett Wilds was a little wild on the floor here, but 24 all. And, they're questioning the call. A couple of the Jackson kids are shaking their head and wondering, what do we have to do to get a call? Meanwhile, Henry Ford just steady as she goes.
Robinson for 3.
I mean,
Gibbs finding the loose ball. Gibbs pulls up for 3. Gets his own rebound. Good job.
5 points, just like that. Just like that, 5 points. Just tied at 24, now it's a 29-24, and that's how it happens. It's like a mountain of mashed potatoes. They keep giving you spoonfuls and feeding you and feeding you and feeding you and feeding you and feeding you. Now let's see if, as Henry Ford picks up the intensity on defense, let's see how the Jets respond.
Bates checks back in for the Hawks. 8:29 on the clock here in the first half if you're just joining us. Cole's looking inside.
They're forcing some things early on, Jeff.
Yeah. But on the defensive end, they're doing a heck of a job defending the basket. A couple of blocks already here in the first half for Henry Ford.
I flat out asked Coach Jobert, can DeQuarian Cole play in the Horizon League, a solid mid-major league? And he says yes, because he knows how to play. And I tend to agree. I mean, this kid had 16 rebounds in the first meeting against Jackson College back on January 26th. 14 on the defensive end. Think he knows how to play?
That was Smith with the last bucket for Jackson.
4 black shirts, 1 white shirt. The white shirt wins.
The white shirt wins. That's right. That was Bates. Bates has 8 points unofficially.
Caleb Bates looking at some Division I offers. He's got that big body, and he's a good defender.
Ronnie Hill.
Wow.
That fan scoop shot. Cole in the open floor, looking across the court and turns that one over. Got to make better decisions than that.
The turnovers have kept Jackson in the contest. Henry Ford's careless kind of play. They've been kind of careless with the basketball, and that's why Coach Shepard is throwing his clipboard right now, because he knows this 5-point lead could be a 10-point lead, because that's what they do. They go up and down, they score baskets, and they play some solid defense. As much as he compliments other teams for being structured, he allows his guys to play the way that they play. Hey, man. Officials saying hi, and Oakland is in the building. I see Coach Tony Jones here, and he likes to keep it a low pro. And as he comes and checks out a player that he's interested in, that's DeQuarian Cole. DQ as they like to call it.
DQ, huh? That's the nickname. (33-28). Hawks in the lead right now. Conversation between Robinson and one of the officials is going on. Jets going to the basket. Good job defensively by the Hawks that time.
This is that we've seen enough of these games to know this is the danger zone if you're the visitor.
Hill outside to Jackson. No good.
Wow, that
yes.
Not bad.
Smith for 3. Hill looking for some room inside. Noah Gatherings is called for the foul. And he'll be substituted coming into the game for the Jets is Dabney.
Cut it to 2.
Sometimes the little guys can get rebounds too. Hill from outside, it's good.
And that's his specialty. He can drain that 3 with the best of them in this league, and when Ronnie Hill is playing that way off the bench, it makes it tough for anybody. When they run that combo of, run that combo of Hill and Jackson, small lineup, small backcourt, man, I mean, they both know how to score as well as run the team. But they do it in a very intelligent way. They don't force anything. You won't see Ronnie Hill forcing any shot.
Jackson with the loose ball over the Hill. And Seal with the short jumper. That one goes in and out.
It's a little off today.
Pearson with the two-pointer.
Yeah, you think Henry Ford's a little off today?
Just a little. Nice
move.
Yes.
Using the cylinder as a defender. Thwarting off the defender.
No whistles blow. Hill finds himself on his back, looking up at the official.
Just got caught out there. And this has been a fast half. Look at it, 3 fouls apiece.
Good look, nice left-handed shot. That's Brent Wiles.
First lead of the game. And hats off to Jackson because they have not wavered.
And Curtis Jackson, I believe that's his first 2 points. Three-point shot, no good from way out.
Wow.
Sills got his pocket picked on that one.
Hey, that's impressive. That is impressive.
Curtis Jackson finally gets in the scorebook with his second points of the game. 4 points for Jackson. Belton with the slam for the Jets. And a 1-point lead with 2:56 here in the first.
Pretty clean first half. Henry Ford's made the mistakes.
Bates. Henry Ford in the zone. Outside shot, it's no good. Over to Sills for three. It's good.
That push. And right now, Jackson, critical 2 minutes for them. I know it's plenty time to play, but you can't lose the end of the half when you're playing Henry Ford.
Three-pointer, no good. Sills challenging four defenders. Mack from outside.
Seal wanted the foul call, but they're letting them play. I mean, I love the fact that this conference allows these guys to play. They wanted to travel down here, for Jackson did.
Mack in the corner is good. 10 points for Tyler Mack.
And just that quick. I mean, they were down 41-40, 8 in a row. You cannot lose the end of the half.
Under a minute. Bates from outside. He's been doing most of his damage on that low left side in the paint, but he stepped outside for that one. And it's called for the foul.
Oh, man, I love it. And Damie, who is from, if you don't know the high school, you better look it up, Ypsi Lincoln. Looks like he may have been there the same time Imani Bates was, or maybe a little bit after. But Damie says too small for Caleb Bates.
Yes. And Bates is a big
you
man.
know what? You got to play with confidence here.
Yeah.
You got to play with confidence. You can't be afraid. You got to play your game and do not blink. And Jackson thus far has not, with a chance for a three-point play here to close them within 2.
And there it is. 48-46. Jackson to the hole, and he's fouled.
48-46, and Curtis Jackson getting to the basket, and I was really just impressed at his composure to end of the game last Saturday. The play was not drawn up for him, but he had the smarts to keep it, take the 3 to win it. According to Coach Shepard, it was going to be a 3 regardless. It was going to be Gibbs that was supposed to take the 3. So they were going to take a 3 to win the game. I mean, they didn't need a 3, but they didn't think they had enough time, I gather. But, man, this team has a lot of moxie. We're going to shoot the 3.
Well, that was great leadership also displayed. And these point guards do a fine job running the offense for Henry Ford and Coach Shepard. Nice putback by Jackson. That's Kathy with the putback. 10 seconds remaining here in the first. Jackson finding Hill. Hill for 3, no good. And that's going to do it for the first half of play.
50,
Score
48.
here in the first half, it's Henry Ford 50 and Jackson College 48.
Well, I think one thing you got to do if you're Jackson, you still got 20 more minutes. You can't get carried away and feel like, wow, we've done something. No, you have not yet. It's 20 more to go. And if you're Henry Ford, cut the turnovers. If you can cut the turnovers, you can get the goal accomplished, which is to win a contest and win the conference.
It's halftime. There you have it. We'll be right back with the second half after this. Your halftime score, it's Henry Ford 50 and Jackson 48. And Eric, that first half, Jackson hanging with the number 3 ranked team in the country.
Yeah, they're doing more than hanging. I mean, they are really battling, hanging, fighting, clawing, scratching. Here's the thing: you look at their points, and 42 of their 48 were from the starters. And conversely, I'm talking about Jackson. Conversely, for the Henry Ford Hawks, 33 of their 50 came from their starters, but 17 off the bench, led by Mike Robinson's quick 7 and 5 each from Ronnie Hill and Marcus Gibbs. If I said to you that DeQuarrie and Cole would not score in the first half and they'd have the lead, what would you say?
I would say, what?
Yeah, I mean,
not possible.
He hasn't scored. He's the only starter either way that has not scored. You got to get him involved. But we've seen this before. We've seen a situation where they did not get him involved. Oakland's in the house. I don't know what. It's all tied now. So, I mean, you certainly have to get him the ball now.
I was Pearson with the opening bucket to tie it up to start this second half of play. And Pearson had 12 in the first half.
And they're looking to. It's one-on-one. They're not doubling Cole. They're just not getting the basketball. We've seen this before. Maybe Coach Shepard wants more from him from the defensive end, but his teammates have got to get him the ball offensively. They got to give it to him on the other end.
Tyler Mack knocked down the 3 for the Hawks. Short jumper's good.
I mean, first half, Jackson shot it 37%, which is not, 51%, I'm sorry, 36 from 3. Henry Ford shot it 54% and 35 from 3. So Henry Ford shot it better. Having some problems with the shot clock again?
I didn't see what that indication was. Nevertheless, 14 seconds.
Yeah, that's a shot clock problem. It's been, okay. Man, it's been ongoing.
That was Bates for 3. 13 points for Bates. No whistles blow. Look at there. Look what I found underneath. Cole still battling, finally saves it.
Wow. Great hustle play. This is when they've gotten into problems today. Over penetrating and committing early and not, committing late and not being able to make the right pass. Committing late. Getting in the air. Last minute trying to make a pass. That's happened 3 or 4 times today.
Okay, little corrections are being made here. Officials having a little conference, and play continues. Bates looking to go inside. Cole from outside, no good.
He's off.
Good job hustling back by Cole, and also a good job by not committing a foul on that particular play.
Well, you got to be concerned right now with Cole, though. I mean, you can't win it without him. I mean, I'm just going to say it like that. You've got to make sure he's scoring baskets.
That's going to be called on Mack for the push. Three-point attempt, no good. Cole with the rebound. And Tyler Mack couldn't handle the pass.
Oh my goodness! Mack patted his chest saying, "My bad." They've blown several opportunities on fast breaks. You got to take care of the basketball. I don't care how good you are.
And Jackson gets called for the reach-in foul.
It is certainly a foul.
Yes.
You got your money's worth for that one, Curtis.
Jackson not giving the inbounder enough room, and that line, he backs up a little bit. Three-point shot attempt, no good. Bates with the rebound. Curtis Jackson to the basket. Count the bucket. Jackson with hard to the bucket. Good, strong finish. And we'll go to the line. Before trying to turn it up a little bit on the defensive end. Picking up full pressure. And Jackson breaks it with ease right there. Three-point attempt, no good. Cole with the rebound. That penalty is going to be called on the floor. That was Belton with the foul. 59-52 your score. 16:31 here in the second.
Good 30-second timeout, man. Good one. Remind the guys what we're trying to do. Coach is really getting after his guys and reminding them what the game plan is. That's Chris Johnston in his second year. And I like it. I mean, I just, it's been interesting to focus in on the visiting teams when doing these games. And Macomb did an admirable job, but a glaring weakness at the end. Coach Johnston I think their strategy is, listen, hustle on a made basket by Henry Ford, hustle up the floor, beat them down the floor, get some good shots, and they've been able to do that. They haven't necessarily done a great job of getting back because they're neck and neck here, but I think they have done a great job of doing this right after a make, coming right back down, running something quick, and getting a basket.
Double-digit lead by Henry Ford after that made three-point play by Bates. Bates in the paint again, turnaround jumper. Count the bucket.
Was it 53-52? That makes it an 11-0 run.
Yes. And Bates has been a catalyst in that 11-0 run.
Danger zone. That's all I can say.
Oh! Tyler Mack is called for the foul.
And I thought they had, as they say in the hood, spent him, meaning he was turned, and they did the right thing, but they called a foul.
Yeah.
So.
Cole with the rebound. Thought it was going to go long with that one. Brings it back down, and then he takes the long shot. No good. That shot was just across half court. He stepped across the timeline and just let that one go.
Okay, Cole, he's chirping back to his coach, which we haven't seen all year. I'm looking across at Tony Jones and Mike Covington, two assistants from Oakland. Let's not put on a show. Let's play the game. Got to stay in it.
That three-point shot is off. Up quickly to Bates. Bates with the dunk. Bates had 10 in the first half, and he continues his hot streak here in the second half for Henry Ford. Seal thought about the three. Now he launches the three. No good. Good job defensively by Cole, forcing the offensive player to change his shot. Jackson thought about going in. Mack from outside.
20, I mean, just really did a great job of blocking out DQ. Kobe Cathy.
Dammy back the other way. $11 points for Dammy. Mack from outside, no good. $10-point lead for the Hawks. And travel. Official near half court called to travel. He might have got away with a travel at the top of the key, but nevertheless, he's called for the travel. And Henry Ford will bring it up.
Now, if you're Henry Ford right now, I mean, play your game, but I think at some point, and you're looking for good shots, at some point, look deep into the shot clock.
DeJuan Seal, watch out. As Belton was going to the basket, he was one of the leading scorers in the first half for Jackson College. But he's finding it rough here in the second half.
They've run their stuff all game. I mean, they're getting baskets off of their stuff and misses. But it's not happening easy as it was in the first half.
Gibbs from outside, no good. Robinson for the tip-in.
Yeah, that's demoralizing. That's demoralizing. When you can let Robinson come in and get these tips after you've done all that work and you played close. Remember now, this was a 2-point game at the half. Now look at it. 70-56. Biggest deficit they faced all game.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be a full timeout. And with that timeout, we'll take a timeout. We'll be right back after this. 70-56, 12:43 here in the second if you're just joining us. You're watching Henry Ford basketball on the Henry Ford streaming network. My name is Jeff Lowe along with Eric Pate, bringing you all the action, bringing it to you all season long. Hope you've been enjoying it.
Well, I'll say this, Jeff. It was just a 2-point game at halftime. Now it's ballooned to 14. Don't panic yet, Jackson. Just run your stuff. We've seen this before. And go to the basket.
Noah Gatherings on the 2-point shot there. Jackson getting inside.
Too fancy. Try to get some local buckets, meaning near the rim. If you're Henry Ford, you've got the lead. You've taken the momentum. This is sometimes where they get in trouble. That small lineup is out there, which means DeQuarion Cole's going to have to play some defense and rebound.
And the tip in by Wiles. $13 points for Wiles. 10-point lead for Henry Ford. Cole in that low box couldn't get it off.
Hey, DeQuarion Cole, his mind, he seems to be preoccupied today. He's preoccupied. He's elsewhere. He needs to be present in the game. He's struggling offensively, and this is not him. This is not the way he plays.
Whistles blow and another foul. It's going to go on Gibbs. To the line, number 22, Noah Gathings. Makes the first. And the second.
Wow, they got a roster that has New Jersey, Michigan, Indiana, Pennsylvania, Texas, South Carolina, and Virginia. A lot of states represented. You can find players, that's for doggone sure.
Oh,
they've cut it to 8, that 6-0 run.
And going way up for that one is Robinson. Three-pointer is good. And Noah Gathings
It's a 9-0
is
run.
in his range, 5-point game.
9-0 run, Jeff.
Gibbs looking for some room amongst the trees. We might need a timeout right here.
They have answered every body blow that Henry Ford has given them, and that's critical. I mean, right now, Henry Ford has to wake up because DeQuarion Cole is elsewhere. He's not in this gym right now. I mean, I'm watching him go up and down the floor, but right now he's not performing. He's not giving him anything defensively. He's not doing anything offensively, and that's his forte. If he's not coming off the screens and hitting shots, he's got to give them something down here on this side of the court. It's not happening. That's not good, and that's not a good sign for Henry Ford right now.
And how many points does Cole have currently?
Well, I mean, I haven't seen anything. At halftime, he had 0. What have you seen this half?
I haven't seen anything.
Well, there it is. I mean, nothing from nothing leaves nothing. You gotta perform in these kind of games. Otherwise, you give people an opportunity or the mindset that we can win the game. It happened last week.
10:33 as we approach the halfway mark.
And you know, in this late in the season, everybody's got to kind of stay together. And they have not played DeJuan Seal very much, if at all, here in the second half.
Cole at the top. Hill thought about it for a second and finally decides to put it up.
And that's the beauty of Henry Ford. When all else is failing with other offensive weapons, you get players that get it done.
8 points for Ryan Hill. Bates checks back in the game for Robinson. Henry Ford with a three-guard lineup now. Three seconds on the shot clock. Gatlin had to let that go. Go ahead.
Here's another run. Another run by Henry Ford. You have to withstand these at all times if you're playing here.
Cole.
There we go.
Breaking the ice.
There we go. There we go.
Aquarian Cole getting his first points at 9:16 in the second quarter, in the second half, I'm sorry. Gibbs over the Hill, and Hill count the bucket.
That might have been one of the most acrobatic plays we've seen all year. It's too bad we can't run a replay.
Kathy was called for the foul. But a nice finish by Ryan Hill.
Nice basket. And he finished off with the free throw. So, you know, this is one of those things where if you're Jackson, you got to get some stops. Seal is back in the ball game. Let's see if Henry Ford can finish this off and finish strong.
Skip pass over to Jackson, over to Gibbs, and Gibbs for three.
Good timeout.
Marcus Gibbs with 8 points in the contest. (81-69). 8:18 remaining here in the second half. I keep saying second quarter. Second half. You're watching Henry Ford basketball on the Henry Ford streaming network.
.12-point lead. Henry Ford is kind of a workman type performance. 81 points. I mean, you know, it looks like they're going step for step, but they really aren't.
Jackson College trying to go inside and does so. Good job by Belton inside for Jackson College. Seal with the step back.
You know, there's no need sometimes to shoot some of the threes that they shoot, but how can you argue when this is who you've been all year? So you got to do you. So Cole is out of the game and Seal is in there.
Gibbs got caught down low. Quickly got back on his man there. Just losing handle of the ball and finally gathered. They have to throw one up. The shot clock had ran out.
Yeah.
It's going to be a shot clock violation. The horn didn't sound, and quickly official Darren Gilbert is right on point.
Yeah, I'm having a rough time right now because we're up here, we're announcing the game, and the women's games participants from Wayne County, from Henry Ford College and Jackson College, we got all this Chick-fil-A, and I'm starving. So thanks a lot, coaches. We are starving. We don't have the benefit of having someone to be a runner.
No runner.
No show producer, none of that.
No, we don't have that.
We are starving. All we see is red and white bags.
I didn't know a Chick-fil-A was that close.
Hey, man, wherever it is, we don't have any. And we need some. But 10-point lead by the Hawks. And this 2-minute stretch is going to be critical indeed if you're going to stay in the game. Timeout for Henry Ford. He's going to reset some things, I'm sure Coach Shepard is.
This is going to be a 30-second timeout for them to talk it over. Only 6:40 remaining here in the second half of play. 81-71 is your score in favor of the Hawks.
Yeah, I think, Jeff, DeQuarian Cole and DeJuan Seal aren't giving the effort that Coach Shepard wants. And that's why they're not playing he's not playing them extended minutes. Now they're on the floor together. Let's see if they can make something happen. I mean, it's despite everything that's being said, they're up 10. They got 81 points. Look like they're well on their way to 100, but their opponent is right there too.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the defensive end. It's playing defense.
I was knocked out by Belton from behind. And maybe they can get a two-man game going. Cole being doubled, kicks it back out to Seal. It's good.
I mean, you go deep into the shot clock with this team, and this is what they come up with. As the smell of French fries and chicken sandwiches fills my nostrils. I'm starving, man, and they are up here grubbing. And I just think back to the game. I mean, I just have to stay focused. If you're Jackson, run your stuff.
Seal.
And he's laughing because it was almost a travel. Don't panic. Just keep running your stuff. But you got to get some stops soon.
86-73. Ron Hill from outside.
And that was unnecessary. I mean, yes, sub him out. Gibbs is back in. Coach Shepard, this is no laughing matter. One thing about him, he's going to be intense throughout the entire ball game. And if you're Coach Johnston, just keep chipping away. They called an offensive foul. I don't know about that one. I know I get a check from Henry Ford, but
maybe it was the right hand.
He did. And number one, Damie said, "Hey, I pushed off." It was a slight one, I thought.
No.
In this game where they've allowed a lot of contact.
Cole turns it over again. And Jackson hanging around. Damney with the shot for Jackson College. Curtis Jackson. And Gibbs, the little man with the layup amongst the Giants.
Well, 5 minutes left in the game, and this is one of those times where Jackson has got to get a basket, get back, and maybe start to apply a little pressure. See that contact and no foul.
Incidental.
Yeah, I mean, but all game, Jeff, this crew is not allowed. I mean, they have not allowed the whistles to take over. Now, some of these things are obvious.
Seal with the left hand and couldn't get it to go. That was a tough one. He was in no man's land under the basket. Gibbs from outside.
Wow. They're on their way to 100. I can feel it. That's the biggest lead of the game, 16.
11 points for Gibbs.
You don't want to be saying that this is their biggest lead of the game with under 4 minutes to play if you're Jackson.
Belton with the turnaround in the paint, gets his own rebound, goes back up, misses everything on that one. Gibbs, he traveled.
Yeah, that was a Steph Curry hop.
And that was right in front of the official, too. So.
Yeah, you can't do that. But 16-point lead by Henry Ford. Not a great game by any stretch of the imagination by DeQuarion Cole. And Henry Ford, I don't know if I want to say they're in control right now, but they're comfortable. These moral victories for the opponents, I mean, they mean nothing.
Nothing at all. Nice turnaround jumper in the paint. And that was Pearson with the shot. And now they pick up full court. Trying to trap in the corner. And Henry Ford just spreads it out. Cole at the top, launches a three, and finally, Cole's trying to fill it a little bit from outside.
Well, it's safe to say they're going to hit 100 again. And now that's the biggest lead by the Hawks.
Only 5 points for DeQuarion Cole in this one. Three-point shot. Hard off the backboard. As Jackson continues the battle, Cole, right-hand layup is good.
And if you take a look at what Jackson's doing, and you know they're white flagging it, but they haven't waved the white flag, and that's a foul. I mean, kid hit the floor hard. now at this point, if you're Jackson, you don't want any fouls. You don't want anybody to get hurt. You want to be to make it on the bus here. It's a 19-point deficit. You go on the free throw line. Unless you got some 5-point shots like in that 4-point shots like in that All-Star celebrity game last night. It's
and the one that didn't count.
yeah. I mean, it's another victory for Henry Ford, and we can start thinking about the final week of this regular season. We can start thinking ahead to the playoffs.
And in this game also, it looks like Henry Ford will clinch the Eastern Conference.
Yeah, Coach said it didn't matter, but anytime you have a distinction like that, it's huge.
Gibbs from outside, no good. (96-79), minute 55 remaining. Three-pointer is good. That's Gathering again.
Now, if you're Jackson, I don't want him to get 100 on me. I'm sorry. And maybe they should have tried a little pressure earlier.
Ron Hill over to Mack. Missed everything on that one. Great block by Cole as he was being challenged by Wiles. 96-84.
Ten seconds. Well, maybe they won't hit 100. Another impressive performance by Henry Ford. Wasn't their best from certain players, but once again, they get enough from everyone on the roster.
Under a minute. Step back for Cole. Way outside.
And so I'd imagine next time that Henry Ford gets it, now that it's, maybe they will shoot. Maybe they do want to go for 100.
Cole losing it and committing the foul. Looks like it's going to be number 4, Ron Hill.
The good news is you're going to win your 15th straight. The bad news is you gave up damn near 90 points. I mean, you cannot have that. You cannot have it.
Also, bad news is that something you can't have is Cole scoring his first points in the second half at the 9-minute mark.
I mean that's pretty clear and obvious. I mean, it just, it's never a good thing but they have, like the judge said, I mean, they're 10, 12 deep. Sometimes you won't get that production and you get a win. So this is the classy thing to do. No shot.
They're going to let the time run out in this one. It's going to be a 99 to 89 victory for the Hawks. And your final thoughts on this one, Aaron?
Well, I mean, just another great performance offensively by Henry Ford. Defensively, some things yet to be desired, but they get the W. Again, they win the conference, their side of the conference, 15 in a row, and sweep over Jackson, and they live to fight again, as they say.
All right. Congratulations to the Hawks for Eastern Division Championship. And I'd like to thank all the folks for joining us on this webcast of Hawk basketball. Join us next time where we'll be telecasting, but webcasting final 2 games coming up, St. Clair County and Mott Community College. For Eric Pate, I'm Jeff Lowe, and this has been Hawk Basketball. Henry Ford, future driven.